The world we live in is beautiful, complex, and alive, yet it is not as stable as we like to believe. Beneath the surface of our everyday lives, ancient forces stir timeless and indifferent. When these forces are unleashed, they reshape cities, rewrite histories, and remind us of one undeniable truth: we are not in control. Today, we dive into 5 catastrophic events that shook the foundations of modern civilization. These are not legends. These are not exaggerations. These are real possibilities and chilling reminders. The first takes us to the city that never sleeps, New York. Most people associate New York City with strength-towering skyscrapers, bridges of steel, and the beating heart of global finance. What many do not know is that beneath this mighty city lies a dangerous fault system, one that has been silent but never dead. In 1884, a magnitude 5 earthquake struck the region, shaking buildings and rattling nerves. In 1944, another, and then in 2024, a 4.8 magnitude quake brought panic back to the streets. These were mere warnings. Now imagine a 7.2 magnitude rupture along the Ramapo Fault, just outside the city. The shaking begins subtly, a low rumble beneath Grand Central Terminal. Then chaos. Subways grind to a halt as power flickers and fails. Iconic bridges shudder, their cables groaning. The glass facades of Midtown begin to shatter, raining razor edges onto the streets below. People scream. Some run, some freeze. Elevators plummet. Gas lines rupture. Fires bloom in multiple boroughs at once. Emergency responders are overwhelmed. Communications fail. In minutes, New York is paralyzed, no longer the center of the world, but the epicenter of disaster. Seismologists had warned us earthquakes on the East Coast travel farther, feel stronger, and carry destruction wider than in the West. But we didn't listen. Now the city faces not only physical collapse, but economic ruin and a long winter of recovery. From the Atlantic coast to the Pacific Ring of Fire, Tokyo, few cities in the world have faced more natural disasters than Tokyo and survived. But even resilience has limits. Shibuya, a vibrant district of youth culture, neon lights, and organized chaos. Beneath its fashionable streets lies something ancient and forgotten, a volcanic vent sealed by time, buried by development. For decades, volcanologists monitored other peaks: Fuji, Hakone, Sakurajima. But no one expected an awakening beneath Tokyo's heart. It begins with a low-frequency hum, then steam. At 712 I, during peak rush hour, the ground beneath Shibuya cracks open. Plumes of ash rise 2,500 meters into the air. Lava doesn't pour, it explodes. Ash blankets buildings in seconds. The famous crossing is silent, filled only with white dust and the soft patter of falling glass. Power grids fail. Subways fill with smoke. Those caught underground suffocate before they can understand what happened. Hospitals overflow. Communication fails. A city known for order descends into chaos. Japan is no stranger to volcanic activity. But no one expected it here, in the core of Tokyo's economic machine. Thousands die. Millions are displaced. And in the days that follow, the ashfall reaches neighboring prefectures, contaminating water and blocking sunlight. Experts had always warned that Tokyo's greatest threat may come from below, not from the mountains, but from its own forgotten past. We now journey south to the Middle East, to the shimmering city of Dubai, a marvel of steel and sand. Dubai was never meant to survive nature. It was meant to dominate it. Artificial islands, mega skyscrapers, man-made beaches, a triumph of ambition. But the sea does not forget. Off the coast of Oman, a massive undersea landslide, triggered by a minor earthquake, collapses a section of the continental shelf. Water rushes to fill the void, rising, building, growing into a wall over 60 meters high. A mega tsunami is born. By the time Dubai's satellites detect the surge, it's too late. The tsunami races through the Strait of Hormuz at jetliner speed. 30 minutes. That's all the time the city has, and most of it is spent in denial. When the wave arrives, it towers above even the Burj Khalifa. Beaches vanish in an instant. The Palm Jumeirah disappears beneath white froth. Glass buildings collapse under pressure. Highways buckle and flood. Oil refineries detonate. The air smells of fuel and death. Dubai, built to impress the sky, is now consumed by the sea. Not since the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami has the world seen such horror. The death toll crosses 300,000. Entire communities are swept inland. In just one day, a city that prided itself on controlling the environment learns humility from nature's true scale. The water recedes, but the scars remain not just on the land, but in the minds of the survivors. Across the globe, a different terror unfolds. One not of fire, not of water, but of ice. South Korea's capital, Seoul, is used to winter. But on a fateful January night, an Arctic polar vortex intensified by global climate disruption pushes further south than ever before. Temperatures plummet. In the heart of Gangnam, the busy district of Tehran-ro becomes a frozen wasteland. Within hours, the roads are glass. Ice covers every car, every sign, every person. Pipes burst. Elevators freeze. Electrical transformers explode with a cascade of sparks. The hum of the city is replaced by silence. Thousands of office workers are trapped in high-rises without heat. The air inside drops below zero. Oxygen thins. Batteries die. Panic spreads. Public transportation ceases. Ambulances can't move. Emergency calls go unanswered. Children walking to school freeze mid-step. People try to escape, but where do you go when everything is frozen? Seoul was not built for this. No city was. It's not just a cold wave. It's a complete collapse of infrastructure, transportation, and hope. The freeze lasts 96 hours. When the sun returns, it reveals a city stunned quiet, humbled, and grieving. But nature wasn't done. Returning to Dubai once more, the impossible happens again, snow. It begins as sleet, then hail, and by nightfall, the dunes are white. The sky is a gray that the desert has never known. Power stations fail. Roads vanish. Cars are stranded. The desert is no place for snow, and yet here it is, falling endlessly. Emergency shelters designed for heat now face hypothermia cases. Camels die where they stand. Solar panels freeze over. Communications slow to silence. A nation built on heat is paralyzed by cold. Satellite images capture its snow in the Arabian desert, a scene, both breathtaking and horrifying. Scientists had warned of climate breakdown, of extremes beyond prediction. But no one imagined Dubai paralyzed not by drought or fire, but by a winter storm. 5 disasters, 5 cities, 5 different forces. Earth, fire, water, ice, and time. Each disaster may seem unimaginable, but each is within the realm of possibility. Seismic risks lie dormant. Volcanoes awaken. Oceans surge. Weather breaks all precedent. What binds them all together is us, our cities, our pride, our underestimation of nature. We build towers and tunnels. We build walls and warnings. But in the end, we must remember the earth does not ask permission. It does not apologize. It simply knows. Will we be ready? Or will we become stories, told in ash, in silence, in submerged ruins and frozen glass? The next disaster is not a question of if, but when. And how we survive depends on what we learn today.